everybody, and welcome to Rise of the Podcast. I am Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm not the droids you're looking for. I'm Brownie.
Woo!
And that's Han Solo.
All right, did you, yeah, right? Well, we'll get to Han here in just a second. That's not Han Yoda Shrek. That's actually Han Solo. For anybody who remembers the Han Yoda Shrek reference.
You might be confused because of the vest.
That might be before Swanky's time, actually.
I think it was.
That might have been like single digit podcasts.
That's the legend of here.
When did we move to second stage?
It was like podcast.
Because that's when Han Yoda Shrek showed up.
It was like 6.
It was that early?
Yeah, it was actually. I thought you meant second stage. Million stages. Anyway, so some fun things I learned. Chris, I appreciate you opening in a wide. So I was reading this one thing, and this guy talked about how Netflix is like ruining movies. So he must have watched that new Netflix movie with the guy who plays Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, and
Red Notice,
The Rock, and something else. And he said it just felt off. And so this guy wrote this dissertation in the comments about Netflix's strict policy for making content. And because it's not going to be shown on a movie screen, they take like the average household television size and stuff like that. And what it is it's a lot of mids and close-ups because they don't do a lot of wide shots because things would just be too small on a normal TV. So they're purposely making these movies kind of like, I don't know, less cinematic because of the screen that they're going to be viewed on.
Yes, I also do not like that.
And I was a really good article. It was really interesting. And so we watched Dune. And Dune,
I watched Dune. Jeremy watched maybe half of Dune.
No, hold on.
He fell asleep like an old man and was snoring on the couch.
Nothing is better than sleeping when a movie is on.
When a movie lulls you to sleep, yes, it is like calming and serene. And
it means you didn't like the movie.
It does not. It's a hogwash. It means I'm just too tired. That's what it means. It was a little wordy, but that's besides the point. So, anyways.
Do you see?
Nope, you put it on TV
I just
somehow.
saw Brad.
No way.
What? Yeah, blame Chip for falling asleep. Okay, what input is this on?
TV, so hit it once would put it back to normal, and one more would put it on computer.
Oh, okay, I did the wrong thing. Okay.
Yeah, now we can see. Oh my goodness.
My land.
It's a freeze frame of the old podcast set.
Episode 7.
That's when Han Yoda Shrek showed up?
That's when we switched. Well, that's not, Han Yoda Shrek was like episode 10 maybe. But it was, so this is a freeze frame from the first
oh my gosh.
Stage 2 podcast.
Look at that's even pre-Star Wars rug.
Yes.
Can everybody else see this too?
Hold on one second. I will make it so.
Make it so.
Pre-shelves.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Pre-LEDs. Pre-Star Wars rug.
Dang.
There you go.
Incredibly low camera angle.
Right? It's okay. You hide my tummy pudge behind my knees. We're good.
You're so funny, Kara.
Look how young Jeremy looks.
I know, right?
I was going to say, this is like, 2 years ago, we weren't that young.
Younger.
Yep.
I was in better shape then.
Why we can't shut up about Star Wars Celebration 2020.
Because it was so much fun.
2019 was fun. 2020 is.
There. There's a good spot for it.
This is when we had these great hopes and dreams of actually going to Star Wars Celebration 2020.
Brad says those boots were in style back then.
What? Are you talking about my boots right now?
My boots, the Hunters.
Her rain boots.
You know what, Brad?
Her wellies?
You know what, Brad? Those are cool boots, and I still have them, and I always get compliments on them. Always get compliments on them.
Whoa.
That was actually a really good snap.
That was a quality snap.
I can't believe that. Anyways.
There we go. This is a good angle for showcasing off the...
And I'm still wearing
Should I just play
boots.
the other podcast while we're doing this?
My gosh.
Is that going to be super distracting?
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
Wait,
100%.
Is there... oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
What is going on here? That's episode 100.
It practically was.
No, wait, what is going on down there?
I think, I don't know. That's back when I used to edit them and like give a crap. So I did some kind of
Okay, well,
special
to be
effect.
fair, that was pre-live podcast too.
Yep. That's when I spent like 4 hours every Sunday cutting the podcast.
And now it's just like, yeah, Jeremy, get ready to post. I like doing live though. Live is fun.
Yep, I get to do. I never thought I'd play another podcast on top of our podcast. While we're doing
It's podcastception.
Oh,
So
Lord.
speaking of which, Kara, I was talking about Dune before Kara rudely interrupted me.
Talking about you being an old man snoring on a
I
couch
was-
while Dune was playing.
Brad, have you watched Dune, or Swanky or Cam or whoever else is here? Have you guys been watching Dune? First off,
It was pretty good.
we were prompted to borrow someone's HBO login, but I felt bad. Mm-hmm. You know,
He said, "Feel free to spoil if you wanted to." He has not
it's
seen
nothing.
it.
I mean, it's been out forever. It's definitely.
Jeremy couldn't spoil it if he wanted. He didn't watch half the movie.
What are you all about? What are you all about? I can spoil it
Jeremy, what
right
happened?
now.
What happened in the middle of the movie?
A giant sandworm came out and almost ate somebody, and somebody set up a thumper on the other side of the desert.
That was the end of the movie.
No, it was not.
Yeah, that was the end of the movie. You probably missed a good hour and a half of the movie.
Oh, man.
I'm just sitting there watching it.
No, apparently Kara's watching me, watching it. You weren't watching the movie, you were watching me
was
sleep
watching-
from the sounds of it.
I glanced over and there you are.
Glanced over, yeah. That was a pretty accurate representation.
Of you, yeah.
But anyways, so we watched Dune, and Dune was very, I'm going to say pretentious. That camera angles were pretentious. Like, they set out for a budget to make this thing look good. But when was the last time somebody's been pretentious with a movie? Ever since, I mean, like...
Every person that making art house cinema, probably.
Well, ever since, like, theater movies going into on-demand a lot sooner has changed the flavor and style of movies. Because it just seems
Yeah.
like they're not putting as much... Wow,
Putting
I
as
can't
much
talk-
thought into it.
Yeah, but putting
as much care.
Effort,
Yeah.
you know?
Which makes sense. I mean, because then, you're not going to see box office numbers. You know, you're not going to be like, oh, made in the box office this weekend. Like, Ghostbusters, I heard, did really well.
Did it?
I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Adam posted about it. He said, like,
I want to talk about this for a
40-some
second.
something.
I have, like, free reign to talk about Matt, right, Chris?
Yeah,
Like, I
I'm
can
not
say-
like his PR rep or anything.
I can say whatever I want.
can you though?
Talk about like Matt Rasmussen.
Yeah.
I mean, just be ready for the repercussions that he might bring up upon you.
No, okay, I just wanted, like, he's made it public. He's making a documentary about Ectocooler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's been making that for about like 3 years.
And what cracks me up is, so they re-release Ectocooler again, and he somehow gets his hands on another bottle, and it's only supposed to be for people who went to the premiere, and he goes to the premiere. What are the odds that the guy... There's not one person in this world who deserves to have Ectocooler more than Matt, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
And how does the guy who is like that ends up with it again? It's just unbelievable.
Well, so it's one of those things like the energy you put out, you get back, right? So if he's
guess
putting out
so.
Ectocooler energy, it's gonna find him.
I mean, truly, there's Ecto-Cooler flowing through Matt's veins. If you cut him open, he'd bleed green.
there is a certain percentage of his body that is just made out of Ectocooler.
I mean, with all the ammunition he has of all like the footage and what I've seen from the trailer, and then what I've seen from like him on Facebook and everything, the thing, it can't suck. It literally can't suck. I'll probably be more excited for that than I was like Dune, for example.
I'm excited for Dune 2. Dune 2. Oh, Lord.
See, whenever you say Dune, it sounds like Doom.
Doom.
Right? Right?
So Captain Jim Raynor 89 says my blood type is oh no. Just as
I
a
thought
quick
he was going to
non-sequitur.
say my blood type is Ect.
Oh,
Oh, that no,
no.
that's Matt. That's
Yeah.
Matt. Yeah.
Anyways, so real quick, we have a new surprise visitor on the set, and that would be Mr. Han Solo over
The
here.
one, the only.
How are you doing, Han, tonight?
I didn't realize until just now, but it is casting a pretty wicked shadow behind you. If you put your left hand up over like BB-8, left hand.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
right up in that area.
It's like when I'm at work and I tell somebody, look to your right. Your other right.
Oh, I see the shadow right here.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fine. That's just...
we'll figure it out. We just need more
It
crap to block it.
right? Anyways, that was given to David's sister-in-law for her 16th birthday over 16 years ago.
Oh, hot dang.
Then it sat folded up in a basement until now. And so it is on loan to us. But I can't believe how cool that is.
I used to have a Legolas and Gimli.
Well, Chris got the Ray one.
Yeah, where's Ray?
That's his May tag.
Yeah, it's his May tag all over
we
it.
just cut around her. It's fine.
Ray tag.
No, you know what you need? We need to do, because it's Christmas time coming up, we need to do the Home Alone thing. We need to put like Ray and Han on like tracks around the set.
Oh, funny.
And then so they're just like,
Disney, is it Disney Plus? Whoever has Home Alone and Afraid or whatever the heck, the third, fourth, whatever it is.
Warner Brothers, isn't it?
But, well, whatever streaming service it's on.
Oh, got it.
Is pushing it hard every time I turn on my Google Home or Google TV or Chromecast, whatever the heck it's called. The thing that makes me able to watch TV.
Yeah.
It's always the first thing up. What's it
Home
called?
Alone?
Yeah, that's the new Home Alone with the...
Oh, I've seen that. I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
Wait, they remade it, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like Home Alone, Home Sweet Home Alone.
Yeah.
Who named
Nah.
this stuff? Absolutely horrible.
Home Sweet Home Alone. Let's look at some stats. It was released November 12th, so it's only been out for a week, and I've seen the thing on... Oh my gosh, it's got a 1.8 out of 5-star rating.
Brutal.
Not even average.
Why? Again, I've talked about this before. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but my coworker Derek was like, "Oh, I wonder who they're going to cast when they remake the Marvel movies." It's like, dude, they don't need to be remade. They're not going to remake Iron Man. Who are they going to?
Oh, they will. Give it 10 years, they'll remake it.
No,
It's going to be a horrible cash grab, and
Here's
everyone's
the
going to
thing:
hate
they
it.
keep on making movies with these original characters. So until they stop making these movies, there's no need to remake the old ones.
That's true. Brad wants to know, when you said Legolas and Gimli, you meant like a poster or like an actual cutout?
Like an actual cutout.
So was he actually Gimli sized or was he like 6'5"?
No, he was actually Gimli size. It was Legolas. He was about as tall as Han, and then Gimli probably came to like
So where'd you get him from?
Mimi gave him to me for Christmas. So we went to opening night, Return of the King. I was dressed up as Arwen. Ovs. And so she opened up the, we would have been 13. So her mom dropped us off and opened up the trunk. And she whipped Legolas and Gimli out, set them up in the middle of the parking lot. And that was my Christmas present. It was glorious.
What'd you do with them during the movie?
Put him back in the trunk.
Anyway,
she wasn't going to buy 2 more
cardboard
tickets.
cut out into the theater.
Who knows? I want to know how many times did you kiss Legolas?
I may or may not have practiced making out with that.
I knew it. I knew it. You actually did kiss it once, didn't you?
Of course I did.
I knew you would. I knew it. She had the biggest crush
Okay,
on
if
Orlando
Jeremy
Bloom.
had a Kate Mara one, that thing would have been soaked through, just eaten away cardboard.
I was going to say, so it's like Kara kisses like cardboard is what you're saying, Jeremy.
Now I know
okay.
why.
I want to talk about your new favorite store just for a moment.
Can we name it, or are we going to keep it anonymous?
Well, no, I'm just setting it up. So it's Costco.
Oh, God, all right.
And so Jeremy, literally every story he's told me for the past week has revolved around Costco in some way. The price of Costco gas, the price of Costco hot dogs, the amount of bulk you can get from Costco, and then him trading food for more food from other people that have gotten into Costco. It's all Costco, right?
Jeremy's going to leave me for Costco.
So I see your post about the flowers that Jeremy had brought you, and I had to message him and was like, did you bring Kara Costco flowers?
And they weren't.
And they weren't, but I was like, I was going to say something to the effect of like, you might as well just move into Costco at this point.
All right,
Seriously?
I got to talk about Brad or whoever. Give me your opinions on Costco, but I want to talk about Costco for a second. Everybody's always raved about Sam's Club, and I've just never been one to buy in bulk because I don't have a big freezer. I don't have a reason, whatever. And Sam's Club's just been there, and it's old and dirty, and it is
kind of just a
been
piece
there.
of crap.
And it's also it's not anywhere near anything convenient for me.
It is kind of on the way out of town.
It's on the way out.
You have to purposely go out that way to go there.
Yep.
They put a Costco in, like 6 blocks away from my job. A brand new full-size Costco right there, right? I've always wanted to like something like this, and I've only ever got to like, it's like Romeo learning about Juliet, but from other people. Like, I've never got to lay my eyes on her myself. I've only had to hear about how great Costco was.
Gosh.
The price of the chicken, the price of the hot dogs, just the environment, the way that they treat you. And so when I finally got in, it was like I saw Juliet for the first time. I walk in, they had Xbox Series X's in stock, might I add, and I picked up one for my friend's little brother.
You didn't pick one for me, though.
Wanting to get one forever.
You're a PlayStation man, Chris.
I mean, I'll take a free Xbox Series X.
To be fair, we were reimbursed.
Okay.
Xbox.
I thought you just had some sort of weird generous
Now, we're not
streak.
chucking that kind of money out.
No, I just picked him up, to be nice that, hey, here I've got one, right? Second thing is, yes, the hot dog is amazing. It's a 1/4 pound hot dog. They have ketchup, mustard, and relish readily available with medium drink for $1.50. Where can you get that lunch? Like, that is a lost leader, okay?
Yep.
Then you go back to the back of the store. They have rotisserie chicken, big ones, for $4.99. Rotisserie chicken, you can live off that for a week. First, you eat all the chicken off. Then you take the bones, you throw them in a pot, make some broth, you make some soup, soak up the marrow. You got a nice base for your next meal. It's a perfect snack. Rotisserie chicken.
As long as you get the Chick-fil-A sauce from Target to go with it.
Oh, it's Chick-fil-A sauce to dip the chicken in. So then the next thing is, all my coworkers are like, "Oh, Jeremy, I've never seen you so happy. What's gotten into you?"
I haven't seen you so happy even the day you got married, Jeremy. I haven't seen you so happy.
So they're like, can you take us to Costco? And I was like, yes, follow me to the great land.
children.
Jeremy's the Pied Piper, just do.
So we go to lunch, and I'm just watching. So Derek drinks these little energy drink called Celsius, and they're $2.99 for an energy drink. Costco sells a 15-pack for $20, but it's $1.37 per. So he's saving $1.70 per one that he drinks. So Derek was just all happy carrying that around the store. We check out, then we go up front. I watch these guys order 2 large pizzas. Large pizzas at Costco is an 18-inch for $10. What a deal. Then we all got hot dogs. We bought way too much food. There's yogurt and churros, and it was a food explosion. It was unbelievable.
Sorry, Brad's on fire right now. He said Jerry renews his vows with Kara at Costco for their 10th
Is that an option? Well, so then when we got our membership, I've never seen such good customer service. They gave Chip his own executive member. They made Chip an honorary executive member. Then the lady who signed us up for our membership, we saw her later on when we were at the food court. She came back over to say hello, checked in with us, and they want to do have Chip be
a yearly picture and give on the back of Chip's card so you can see him grow
He has his
up.
own membership card?
I mean, it's blank, but
that's still pretty funny.
Right?
It is
So
pretty
I
funny.
could take him with me and
right.
use his membership card.
right? So, but she wants to take a picture every year so you can see him grow up in his card.
That's funny. It's like the Costco yearbook.
And then last but not least, you'll hear me talk only good things about Quick Trip, a local gas station chain we have around here. But their premium is 75 cents more than the regular unleaded. And most gas stations are. Costco, it's only 25 cents more for premium gas. And normally, I don't know if it's a Minnesota thing, we normally don't get above 91 octane here. They have 93 octane. And that's the one that's only 25 cents more. So I get 50 plus cents off a gallon of gas for my little car that I drive. And 4% back. And I get 2% for being a Costco member plus 4% back if I use the gas card. So 6%. I mean, it's just
Do you get a military
savings.
discount at all?
They give you $20 when you sign up, but for opening a new store, they give you $20 anyways or something. So
So since it's their flagship store, the military discount is basically the same as the rest of the discounts they're doing right now.
Okay.
But I'm sure once it's not a news store anymore, then the military discount will probably
Interesting.
fall off.
Well, so speaking of gas, Brad said the gas lines are around the block for gas at Costco.
hot
What?
dang.
And he said, I can't go there. It's always jam-packed. I simply don't have the patience to save $5 for imitation Kirkland brand goods.
So I've heard.
Some of the Kirkland things are as good as, if not better than.
I have a really funny
The
story
toilet
for you
paper
guys.
is not great. It's
You're
a
so
little bit
funny.
rough. So I will say, Members Mark toilet paper is much softer.
You're so funny. Anyways, all right, another funny story, right? We live in what would be considered a small town. So, Brad, all right, I go to get gas the other day. I've only ever seen maybe 3 people, and they've got 3, 6, 9. They've got around 15 pumps. They've got 3 pumps. Anyways, they've got 15 pumps. There's only like 3 or 4 people there ever. That's sweet because we're a small town. Second of all, their gas stations are one way because they're normally so popular. So there was a big car explosion the other day where like I had to borrow my car to somebody and then Kara had to borrow her car and then I had to borrow that person. It was a car monopoly. So I get the car. I get the hot potato car, the one that is like key in all of this. It's out of gas. So I go on my lunch break and I go to fill up and it's not my car, right? So the pump is on the other, the stupid fill is on the other side. You know what? Let's just make a standard. All cars should fill on the driver's side. I hate cars that fill on the passenger side.
Yeah, why are they different?
Is it a Japanese car?
No, it's a Saturn.
Where's Saturn manufactured?
It's owned by GM. It's no longer around, but it was owned by GM. So it was an American-made thing. It's just wherever the engineers feel like slapping the gas tank to get it out of the way. So anyways, I pull
Wait, what about your little theory that the little gas tank...
It works if I would have paid attention. Yeah. I was just under the assumption.
It's still definite. It's a definite that is a thing. He just didn't know. Yeah, Saturns were made in Delaware.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, why they should all...
Anyways, so I pull up, right?
Puppets.
I didn't know gas stations were one way. I've never had that experience before. So I pull up and it's on the wrong side. I got to fill up over here and the gas pump's here on the driver's side. So I back up and I go like this and I back up to the pump. Immediately some attendant comes running over and he's like, sir, this is a one-way gas station and you're going the wrong way now. And it's like, dude, there's no one in sight. Clearly I pulled up the intended direction which you meant for me to approach this. I just didn't know that you want to drive all the way back out and then come back in and go to the right pump. Not today, buddy. Don't make me not like Costco. So, and
don't make me drone strike this place.
Yeah, right. Being that it's a new store, I was afraid that it was going to be really busy. So I don't know if people aren't going there because they're afraid of how busy it's going to be.
We're a small town.
Or if that's just however busy it's going to be because we have this Sam's Club. But it's like
Sam's Club, I don't think has ever struck me as being run your grandmother over busy either.
No,
it's not.
We're really lucky.
I feel like the people who are Sam's Club members are loyal Sam's Club members. Except my parents, they hopped over to Costco. And they've been Sam's members for years.
It's so funny because I hear from a third party, I'm like, why would anybody have brand loyalty? Like loyalty to a company. It sounds like the dumbest thing. And here I am only getting my happiness from the fact that there's a Costco by me.
Jeremy's one regret in life is that he wasn't at one of the sign-up tents along the road before they opened.
It's ridiculous. Anyways, there was this one lady, right? I may look completely normal, but I
would argue that.
I was going to say.
I am bottled up with social anxiety. I'm just going to say, like, I hate other people, all right?
Yes, he does.
Straighten that out.
It's true.
So this lady is cooking steak at Costco, right? And I'm just sitting here going, and Kara walks right by because I know you don't want to talk to her any more than I do. And so
she looked curmudgeon-y.
The smell of the steak overpowered my desire to not have a conversation. So I go over to get a piece of steak and she's got like 6 made. It's not like this isn't, like she's already got the toothpick in and everything. So I'm like, oh, can I try a sample of steak? And she just goes, here you go. And then Kara, in the worst timing possible, get one for me. So I looked at her, I was like, can I get one for my wife? And she like looks at me and she was chopping the steak and she goes, sunk. Just hands me the second one. I was like, if there was anything I didn't want to do more, it was not ask for that second piece of steak. Although I guess the only thing worse than asking for a second piece of steak was eating a piece in front of Kara and not getting her one. That would have probably been worse. We all know she's a murderer, so she probably would have killed me.
Jeremy would have been steak.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And then
so she just had like an attitude problem?
She totally had an attitude problem. Like,
how dare you ask for steak samples before they're put out, sir?
But anyways, then Kara's like, oh, that's really good steak. And I was like, oh, that is really good steak. So we walk over there and it's like, how much was it? $30?
It was expensive for this little like thing of steak like this. It was like a flank steak or something like.
Well, it ended up being like $7 a pound, but they give you like 5 pounds of it.
Okay.
So, it was
$7 a pound isn't terrible for steak.
Yeah, no, it was a good deal. It's just you could buy it in bulk, and we don't have a chest freezer. That's been one of the biggest dilemmas. Is
Well,
that we don't
if
have
you
a chest
bring a chest freezer down here, we can share it.
Right, that's true. That's true. Buy it in bulk.
And like, if you want to cook something after the podcast, it'll be thawed by the time you get home from here.
That's true. That's true.
I see nothing but advantages.
But yeah, they've got. I mean, it's just some of this stuff. I don't know how people buy so much in bulk.
They have big families.
Brad says, I would have asked for a third sample and then asked her to spit in it for me.
That's hilarious. That's super funny. But no, they've got like, you go buy, it's not a dozen eggs. It's not 2 dozen eggs. It's 2 dozen eggs. For real. It's like 48 eggs. That's how much the egg packs come in.
And the bacon comes in packs of 3.
It's unbelievable. As in, it's like normally
That
a pound
sounds
of bacon.
like a pretty dope place. What's the membership cost?
It's $60 for a normal,
regular,
normal membership. But if you get the executive membership, it's $120, but then you get 2% back on all your purchases.
Oh, so that's what you did?
We did the executive one because it's like if I do the math between that and the gas alone, if I fill up there, because it's right on my way home, it's a really good deal.
Brad says, who needs a box of 75 eggs? We need that many raised chicken.
I know, it's unbelievable.
Well, my parents do have chickens, and during the summer, they do lay eggs pretty well. So during the summer, we always get farm fresh eggs.
Yep.
And you don't even need to refrigerate them.
No, except I hate hoarding. So then we have to save all the cardboard containers to shuffle back, like when you exchange the glass bottles over in other countries.
My boss and our old HR person used to my boss would grow vegetables and she had chickens and they would trade eggs for vegetables and stuff. And they were constantly, it's like, oh, I got to make sure I save this egg box. And like, that sounds like more work than I'll go pay 85 cents to Walmart.
So Chris, did you know there was a speakeasy for farm eggs in Cloquet?
What?
Absolutely. There was a location that wouldn't be named and you'd go in, then you'd go in the back where the employees were. And on top of a fridge was a mini fridge filled with eggs. And you just set the money on top of the fridge and you'd open the door and grab the eggs and walk out. They were farm eggs, but they weren't like legally pasteurized or cleaned. So yeah, there was a speakeasy for eggs and I used to go get my eggs from there.
Interesting.
So what if I got busted buying illegal eggs? Like what would happen? As a buyer, am I in trouble?
I don't know if you would get in trouble. I think the store would be in trouble.
I think depending on like the value of them and something, I know that it's considered chattel. So it'd be some sort of commerce violation. As long as you didn't cross a state line, it wouldn't be a federal offense.
Could you imagine my only record is me buying illegal eggs?
Can you imagine the cops having time to put out a sting for illegal egg sales?
So
Jeremy goes in to buy his eggs and the cops just immediately, put your hands up, drop the eggs.
The yolk's up. Speaking of things, so I won't say his name, but you know the person who I'm going to be talking about. He drives that blue Acura.
Okay.
His name appeared in the newspaper related to a certain trumped up charge.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's a matter of record. The local newspaper
had to print it
when he went in and had his whole thing, whatever. He was essentially exonerated. He was not guilty of anything, but he was charged with the thing. And he's like, okay, fine. And this is going to go away after a year or whatever. Right. It's like they move to dismiss after a year as long as he doesn't commit anymore or get accused.
As long as he doesn't buy anything
crimes.
else legally.
And so, but because he had his appearance, it's a matter of record. So it appeared in the newspaper and he was super, super angry about it.
I would be.
Understandably.
Here's the thing. Newspapers are generational, which we have something to talk about if we want to get into it. We can choose to go down that road or not. I just found generations easy, like something interesting about them, but you cannot put it past. It's like Murphy's Law or whatever. If you don't want somebody to see your name in the newspaper, they'll see it. Like they'll pick up that specific episode. They won't read a newspaper, but 3 times a year.
Well, this is the local weekly newspaper.
Yeah.
And there's 2 people that he knew that live in Duluth saw it.
Oh.
Dang.
Well, then when somebody sees it, then they're going to, it's going to spread like wildfire.
Oh, yeah.
What was I going to say? I can't remember what it's called the Streisand effect is what that's called. When you don't want somebody to know something, everybody knows it.
Yep.
When you want something to go away, it'll be the most known thing.
Unbelievable.
Jeremy pooped his pants. Everybody's going to hear about it.
Because I'm going to keep that rumor going.
I have not. That was not an announcement.
Yeah. Dear internet, Jeremy pooped his pants. No. You guys want to vamp for a second? I actually need to run and grab something to drink.
Oh, yeah. No, go for it.
Cool.
No, so anyways, we'll just talk about the generations for just a quick second. Won't be a big deal. But basically, I'd only ever really heard like boomers, right? Like, okay, boomer. And then I watched this guy give a presentation and he put up a thing on the TV and it was like millennials and then boomers and then whatever. And they skipped over Gen X. So it was like millennials are too much in the spotlight and then Gen Xers always get ignored. And then boomers caused all the problems. And then before the boomers, you had the greatest generation, which was, the World War II.
Not pre-World War II. They were the World War II people.
I put Kara up to the task of doing a little research. Mm-hmm. And so what I think is interesting is a lot of other countries actually name their generations. Like, it's just, from what I've found, is it's just they go by a decade. So it's like you're either a 20s or a 30s or a 40s or a 50s or yada, yada, yada. But we have and our generations don't go back all that far of what we have nicknames for them. So what's the first one?
The first one is the Lost Generation. And that goes from 1880s, I think, until like 1913, 1915, somewhere in there. And
is that because maps and GPS weren't mainstream yet?
Probably. Definitely that. Yep.
Cars came out, but then there was no maps to go along with them. So they were the lost generation.
Yep, Jeremy.
Someone's dropping some hilarious jokes.
Good job.
You guys love my puns.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. You guys, you've all heard me do.
I threw a pea at Jeremy the other day and it landed on his glasses lens and stuck there.
You guys this is a pun tangent off the generations. You guys have all heard my cow jokes, right?
Of course we have.
So what do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
What do you call a cow with 3 legs?
Lean beef.
What do you call a cow with 2 legs?
Lean
beef. Mom. Oh, somebody did that to me the other day and I was like, dude, I've never heard that one before. What do you call a cow? What do you call a cow in an elevator? Raising the stakes. What do you call a cow in high heels? Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
How about an earthquake? Milkshake. So I have a bunch of cow jokes. I'm obsessed with them. But it's like somebody got me on the 2 cow your mom joke. I thought that was really funny. So sorry. Anyways,
that's
generation.
Your mother-in-law.
So you call it when a cow leaves gratuity.
Wait,
cow
what?
tipping.
Chris, that's a new one.
You're welcome.
I've never heard that one.
I've made it up in my brain right now.
That's nice. That's nice.
What do you call a cow that indulges in self-pleasure?
Oh my gosh. Is this disgusting?
Jerky.
What'd you say?
Beef jerky. Or beef stroganoff. Take your pick.
I like it.
Anyways,
Brad says poor Chip. He also says, sure, you sure know how to milk these cow jokes.
Oh, boo! Absolute boo!
I think that was better. That was better than Jeremy's jokes.
You get out of here. But no, I love the delivery of those fast little quick one-liners. It's a great way to like just bust the ice. All right, but what are some more generations really quick?
So the Lost Generation was a group of people born at the right time to serve during World War I.
No, that was the silent generation.
That's the Lost Generation.
Oh, they served World War I.
They served during World War I. Then there's the interbellum group.
This one's fascinating.
That's a little bit into the Lost Generation and a little bit into the Greatest Generation. And they're the group that was too young to serve, or born during World War I.
They were too young to serve in World War I. And too old to serve
yeah, that's right. Too young to serve World War I, too old to serve World War II, like in a fighting capacity.
So imagine like threading the needle just with like that. That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. So the Greatest Generation was the group that was like the right age to serve during World War II. And that's why they're considered the Greatest Generation, because they were willing to go out and fight. Like 16-year-olds were volunteering to go fight.
It was just a time when everybody in the country needed to participate.
Yep.
It was just unbelievable.
So then after that, it's the Silent Generation. And they're the ones that were kind of born during-ish World War II. And I think they were the ones that served during like the Korean War and the Vietnam War and stuff like that. I think that's what it was. And then you get the boomers.
With the result of...
That's our parents.
The Greatest Generation comes back.
So...
They're all happy.
It was the average amount of babies born in a year was like 4 million. Normally, and that jumped to 6 million after World War II. That's why they're called the baby boomers.
Dang.
And then after that is Gen Xers, millennials. Then...
I like how you skip over Gen X. Like
Gen X, Zennials.
Zennials and millennials.
Zennials is a cross between X and millennials. And it's like...
Well, where's Gen Y and Gen Z?
So then Gen Y is millennials.
Gen Y, yeah. Oh. It's millennials,
and then
Gen
Z
Y.
is the...
It's tomato.
But millennials get blamed for a lot of Gen Z stuff.
They do. Yep.
I don't mean to brush over Gen X.
I saw a really funny thing, and it was like, it was a 30-year-old talking to a 20-year-old, and the 20-year-old was calling the 30-year-old, and they're like, you're old. And they're like, oh, generations are coming for you too. And then it shows a little kid walk up to the 20-year-old and goes, TikTok sucks. And I was like, yes. There's a little kid crapping all over what the 20-year-old's like right now. So it's coming. So what the heck is like Chip's age going to be into?
Oh gosh,
a bunch
what
of
is
weird,
the new
scary
generation?
things.
There's already a name for the new generation. Like Chip's era. Chip's generation. I forget what it is though.
It's the COVID babies or whatever they're talking about.
What are the oh gosh, the coronials?
Coronials.
Yeah, I think that's what I joke.
I refuse to acknowledge that in existence.
I mean, I'm just saying what I heard. I'm trying to get
So, opinion time by me.
Yes.
Okay.
Is so like the more you try and define something, the less things it can contain.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So the problem is like when you do something that's like, oh, like millennials, right? It's like that from like what, like 1980 to 2000 or something.
Yeah.
Millennials, I think, is 83 until 97.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? So it's like basically all you're doing is you're just taking a wedge of time and saying everything inside of this is this.
Right.
So to make the group as big as possible, just covering that time span, you get no precision and definition whatsoever. And so when people are like, anybody born in this 16-year span is the reason that everything is, it's like, all it does is make people angry. So like, I hate when people use generational things to define stuff because it's incredibly unfair to literally everybody involved.
Yeah.
It's super lazy.
Well, generations didn't really like start to exist until, was it the boomers or was it the greatest generation?
Basically, the boomers were the first named generation, and then they went back and like retconned.
And then they
named
the previous
shoehorned
generations.
other groups into. That's why I thought it's interesting. Other countries really don't do it. They break it up by decade, which almost makes more sense because I was born in the 80s and my niece was born in the 90s, and we're technically she just makes the cutoff on some millennial.
But I mean, I feel like we couldn't be more different.
We're two different, completely different people. So to get like lumped into the same thing, it's like,
my mom is, what's the age difference between you and your niece?
10 years.
So my mom and I think her oldest sister are more than 10 years apart.
Isn't that crazy? It's absolutely crazy.
So it's like, so again, using these definitions is completely pointless for some things. It's like you can have like single generations of children. Like if you just want to think of like going from parents to children that span a longer set of time, then you could have a baby boomer and a Gen X child.
Right.
You know, so it's like all these definitions are completely worthless to me.
Yeah.
This is my own personal hot take opinion that naming the generations is not beneficial to anybody. But it is interesting.
It's interesting, but I agree. It just causes generational like divide.
I love interbellum because it was like that actually defines like a group of people who could not participate in two different wars, like too young for one, too old for the other one. That one just was really interesting to me. But besides that, it just, my curiosity was piqued. It was like, well, if you went over to like, you know, France, what do they call people born in whatever? You know, the baguettes? You know, I don't know. Like, it's the baguettes.
That'd be like, it's like, yeah, this is the sweet roll generation.
Now I want pastries like real bad because I love food.
Ryan's got some cookie dough in my fridge if you want it.
And then when we were at Costco, Kara bought some muffins and she only got one box and they were buy two, get one, or buy one, get one free.
There was no clear signage.
And so one of the employees ran back and got Kara her second box of muffins. So just don't ask for
If it was me, I would have just rung up the buy one, get one free and took it home.
You would have what?
If I was working there, I'd have been like, oh, yep, buy one, get one free, and then just grab the box and got home with it.
Right? Yeah.
For the first time ever in my life, so Best Buy is a really interesting company. Like I used to hate Best Buy, and then I liked Best Buy, and then they're based in Minnesota, so I got to have some love for them. But every single time I look at something at Best Buy, it's like never cheaper than Amazon, right?
Nope.
So I always leverage that against poor old Best Buy, who says they'll price match anything, which they have for me. They will, and like this one guy price matched something that he should not have price matched, and it was crazy.
Well, so real quick, I don't know where your story is going, but I will say Best Buy also does generate different product numbers for the exact same product. So you can say, look, the product number is different. We can't price match that.
Interesting.
Specifically SD cards. if you look at them, like the SanDisk Extreme Pro is called something slightly different with a slightly different thing. But if you look at it, it's the exact same. It's like same size, same data transfer rate. It's the exact same SD card with a different sticker on it and a slightly different package, so they don't have to price match. Like they'll charge you $80 instead of $40.
Interesting.
So stuff like that. I've never once successfully gotten on the price match an SD card. It's like I'll just wait 2 days for Amazon to bring me one then.
Right. So like what I'll do though is I do it all the time and I hate it. I'll check, like I'll be in Target and I'll pull my phone out and be like, how much is this on Amazon? You know, and then I'll like either get it on Amazon or get it at Target. But Costco, there was some things we saw that were legitimately actually cheaper than Amazon. It was kind of actually
way
refreshing
cheaper
to see. So like a Ninja food blender thing.
$30 cheaper at
$30
Costco.
cheaper than Amazon, even for the cheapest one on Amazon. So it was kind of fun, refreshing for me to be able to walk around and see some things that are actually truly cheaper, you know? And then I guess too, the other, I had a funny story. So Brad mentioned Kirkland, right?
Yep.
So apparently Grey Goose is like their Kirkland vodka is like bottled at the same place Grey Goose is or something. And the same thing with Kirkland brand tequila is like Patron, I guess. But they also, some of the deals that they do get is that they have purchasing power and they buy like limited deals. So they'll buy like kind of like Aldi does that. Aldi will like do a group buy on something and then it's there while it's there and then it's gone. They just don't normally carry it. So that's kind of the interesting thing about Costco is if you see something there, you might have to get it because it might not be there next time. Anyways, we just got this Costco, right? So we have these things that are called piddle packs at my work. And they look like a Christmas stocking, like the classic one you'd hang on your mantle. So like a big sock, right? Mm-hmm. And then in the tip, they're big, like a stocking. They've got either powder or a sponge, and that absorbs pee. And pilots use them when they fly to go pee while they're flying because it's a single manned aircraft. And anyways, so what we do is we take them and we put them in a little plastic bag. So we like just get them ready so that way, they go in a drawer. We always keep like 50 in there.
They go in the sock drawer.
Guys keep like 50 of them in there, and then these guys grab when they need them, and then when they get down, halfway, we'll restock a bunch and put them in there.
Well, so if they don't use it during the flight, does it just go back in the drawer?
They usually just keep it in their helmet bag, and then like they can probably keep most guys keep 2 to 3 on them. This is a serious story. No, it's actually not.
Not according to Brad. So he says he prefers Costco over Ted Lasso, by the way.
He likes us talking about this more than us talking about Ted Lasso.
I think just in general, but if he was given the option of like either one, he prefers Costco.
Costco is the Ted Lasso of stores. That's all I'm saying.
Is it though? Is it though?
What do you mean? It's a positive, upfront, happy store that most Europeans and everybody else in the world enjoy. Sam's Club's like football, only United States and somebody else.
Australia.
You're talking about American football.
American football.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're prepping these piddle packs, right? And taking them out, putting them in these bags with the little hand wipes. And I kid you not, for the first time ever, one was missing all the absorbent material that goes inside the piddle pack. And it was packed with an empty peanut wrapper, and it was Kirkland peanuts. So somebody working on the assembly line didn't fill it and instead threw their lunch wrappers in there. But it's funny because there's no powder and they didn't even like actually give me a snack. Like I would have eaten them, or whatever. Be like, sweet, free peanuts.
You would eat random peanuts on the bottom of a sock.
Why not?
He would.
Okay, fair enough.
Somebody handed me an extra burger they couldn't eat at Wendy's and I ate it and I shocked everyone at the table.
Was it a random person?
Yeah, they walked over. They're like, hey, we ordered 3 burgers. We couldn't eat this last one. Do you want it? And I was like, sure. So I grabbed it and ate it.
What's wrong with you?
It was still wrapped. It was still wrapped in the original packaging.
Have you not heard of the serial killer Michael? Was it Michael Swango?
No, let's get off the.
He put taro ant killer in his friends' drinks and stuff to poison them, causing them to be horribly sick. And they're lucky they didn't eat or drink any more than they did because they could have died. Because it has arsenic in it.
What you don't know about me is I've been slowly exposing myself to it over the years to be immune.
To what?
The funny thing is arsenic isn't something you can build an immunity to. It's something that kills you by accumulation. So you've just been slowly killing yourself.
Someday Jeremy will die from arsenic poisoning and they'll come after me.
It's the perfect crime. Because it was built up over all these years.
The perfect frame up, you mean?
No, somebody at Wendy's. Wendy's, what murderer thinks to themselves, I'm going to go kill somebody at Wendy's? It's like, The Ted Lasso of fast food chains.
Maybe Dave Anderson's had enough of their crap. Or Dave Thomas, I mean.
Dave Thomas.
Dave Anderson's a local meteorologist.
Dave Thomas actually went and got his GED at like 900 years old to prove to people you should still want to inspire and motivate you. Dave Thomas is a stand-up person. He's the
funny thing to me is like he hires people that can't get GED.
Of fast food management.
Hey, I worked there 11 years, okay?
You know exactly the type of people I'm talking about.
I know. I worked with them.
I'm not saying it's exclusively that. I'm saying it helps.
Yep. There are people there that are going to be lifers for sure.
Anyways, you guys all know I'm massively depressed. And so
I could tell.
When we were driving to Costco, my coworkers, when we got done, we had a great experience eating all that aforementioned food. We got back from lunch and they're like, Jeremy, we have not seen you this happy as you were today when you took us to Costco. It was really a positive experience.
That's depressing for me.
Why?
Because you're happy about Costco, but not me.
When was the last time you gave him a great deal on a hot
dog? No, and I have been really stepping up my duties as a significant other.
He's been doing dishes.
Like all the time.
I hate dishes. And
you've been slacking on your duties to hear that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. No, I've been doing a bunch of dishes and
you have to tell me what that stuff is that you were talking about that like blast the crap off of there.
It's so amazing. It's made by Dawn. It's like called Dawn Power Blaster, I believe. And Costco has the Power Blaster and
Isn't
two
it
refills
Power Wash or something like that?
for $7.99 or something like that.
Oh, and when you're there tomorrow, you should pick me up.
Right.
I do think Jeremy sneaks out at night just to go to Costco.
Are they 24 hours?
No, they'll close at like 8 or 10 o'clock.
Well, they're not 24 hours to the average person.
Yeah, when you're an executive VIP or whatever, they just roll out the red
got a secret
carpet.
side door that he cut in.
They call it the Manthe hole.
I have another story. So anyways, it was just really funny that I ate these, or I didn't eat, that there was just Kirkland wrappers in this piddle pack that should not have been here. It's like the craziest thing. But I started doing something, guys. So there's a long running joke that when everything's amazing to me when I first start off, right? It's just awesome. It's like bananas are really good for you, right? And kiwis are really good for you, like legitimately good for you. And there was this pilot and I was sitting there talking to him and I had a bunch of kiwis at my desk. Weirdly enough, this isn't a joke. When I go to work, I legitimately take 2 kiwis and 1 banana with me. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. That I legitimately do. So I had some kiwis on my desk.
And this is every day? Do you carry it around in a weird bag that's kind of saggy?
Well, you don't want your fruit to get squished. So I put the kiwis here and I hold on to the banana in one hand. I will carry it in with me. Anyways, so
how is this not a fake story?
It's real. I will post a picture of it on Discord.
No, it's gonna get us demonetized if you post a picture of it.
So a pilot came by and he saw I had these kiwis on my desk, and after he had a little bit moment of laughter for the way that the fruit was arranged, he's like, "Hey, can I get one of those?" And so I said, "Yeah, sure." So I gave him one, and he ate it with the skin on.
I know, right?
Guys, that was about 3-4 months ago. I gave my so normally you go to Aldi, you get like 6 kiwis in a box for however much money, $4. At Costco,
you carry them around in one of those pilot socks.
we bought a pack of kiwis from Costco. And we got like 24 freaking kiwis in there. It's like, I can't eat all these kiwis. So I've been taking 4 with me to work and I give 2 to my coworker every day.
Oh, you say, but now I have to bring 2 bananas.
No. So I give 2 of my coworkers these kiwis. And so he's like, should I eat it with the skin on? I was like, do it. So he eats it with the skin on. I will tell you what, it is the ultimate power play. The next time I interview for like a management level position, during
Jerry's
the interview,
I'm
gonna bring in a kiwi.
Yeah,
you're gonna bring 2 kiwis and a banana and then slam it down on the table in front of you.
All right, next week, I'll eat a kiwi on set. You'll see what I'm talking about.
You're gonna walk in up to the table and just go right.
It is the ultimate power play. I have never seen anything more intimidating than making eye contact with someone eating a kiwi with the skin on. It's unbelievable. When you do it, you look like an absolute madman. You look like if you can handle the hair scraping against your tongue on a kiwi, you can do anything. And guys,
Jeremy, we already all believe you're a madman. Show of hands, who thinks Jeremy's a madman?
I have started eating kiwis with the skin on. For real, it is actually not bad. First off, the actual skin itself tastes just like apple skin. I cannot tell the difference between biting into an apple
Except it's fuzzy.
and biting into a kiwi.
It's like you're eating a caterpillar. Like
Yes, it is fuzzy, but it's not that bad. So I looked it up first. Like, is this actually safe? There's like 10 upsides and only 1 downside. Chris, can you take a guess at what the downside is?
It has to do with pooping, I bet.
No, that's like 3 of the upsides. For real.
I'm guessing downside is it makes you want to hurl.
No, it's packed with calcium, whatever it is that gives you kidney stones.
Oh, okay.
So
I think it's calcium.
If you eat if you're prone to kidney stones, you're not supposed to eat kiwis with the skin on. So let that be said. Okay. However, it gives you both insoluble and soluble fiber. Like, it's absolutely packed with it, which I'm going to tell you, you go to the bathroom, it's the best bathroom I've ever had.
Is it like having toilet paper on the inside, scraping it out?
But you get done, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It feels so good.
It's like when you eat corn.
Yeah.
Oh no,
but on the cob.
No, it's really, really good. But it's
I have some chat to catch up with here.
All right, catch up on chat.
So referring to the you being a good husband, Brad said you must just be banking good deeds because you either have a big ask or you did something that Kara hasn't found out about yet.
I mean, look at that face. Look at that face. He did something. Lord.
The world may never know.
Don't activate those eyebrows as much as you are.
I mean, he got me
Brad,
a nice Christmas present too, so.
There's other options, but we'll leave it at that. There's a third thing you're leaving out. I'm just kidding. What? Kara knows. She knows now.
Dang right, I know.
She knows now.
His hint is.
Brad also says, "This is." Do they know Jeremy when he comes into Costco? They're like, "Hey, Norm."
Yeah.
Swanky says.
Yeah.
Swanky says, "I came in at a weird time when you were talking about
did.
the 2 kiwis and a banana bit."
Yes, you did.
And then Cam says it really is the ultimate power play, especially when Jeremy's cradling the banana in the other hand.
No, I'm gonna eat one next week on camera.
No, what you need to do is you just need to vacuum seal them all together.
But it is
and
funny.
carry it around in your front pocket in really tight pants.
It is funny because
is that 2 kiwis and a banana in your pocket? Are you just happy to see me?
It's just 2 kiwis and a banana, actually.
it legitimately is what I choose to eat for breakfast every day. Like, I just want to be able to carry my fruit in and not be judged. You know? So, but I just, between watching these 2 other people eat these things, and once you try it and realize it's actually not that bad. But then the other funny thing is, they both, my coworker, he looks at me and he goes, "It's amazing that you're eating it with the skin on." But he said he's also never seen somebody so skillfully good at eating a kiwi, because I have the cut and spoon method down, where you like cut it and scoop it out with a spoon. He's like, it's absolutely a waste to let that talent go to waste. But I'm telling you, you watch somebody eat a kiwi with the skin on, and you'll be like, wow, I am not going to mess with that.
I have zero desire to eat a caterpillar. Thank you.
They're not a caterpillar. Will you please eat a kiwi with the skin on?
No.
You won't lick a battery.
Right.
You won't lick a switch card.
But she did lick a battery eventually.
Was it that bad?
That wasn't horrible, but I don't.
Will you take a bite of a kiwi with the skin on?
Textures do it for me. I can't eat a banana that's not yet ripe. That makes me vomit.
Definitely, texture is
I actually prefer slightly green bananas.
Slightly green. If it's got that like woody weird texture, I will feel like vomiting.
It's a tangy texture.
No, it's not. It's bitter.
It tastes like you're eating sawdust, kind of.
And then, it almost dries out my tongue.
You guys are so full of crack. It's bitter. I would give it that it's bitter, but there's no wood taste whatsoever.
Well, I mean, wood could be considered bitter, I guess, too.
It's like the texture is
you know how freshly cut grass smells like bananas?
Yes.
So like that's sort of like that sensational crossover thing.
I would say.
So it's because like I've had the palpable taste of wood dust in the air. It is reminiscent of that, eating a green banana.
It's interesting you bring that up though, because I would say that the smell of fresh cut grass would be like the closest way to describe, like if somebody's never eaten a banana, I would say like if you eat a unripe banana, that it kind of smells like fresh cut grass. I would say that.
I like having just the slightest touch of brown.
If there is any brown on the peel, it is too ripe for me.
Yeah, see, like so
yellow or yellow green.
Yeah, straight up only yellow. Like if there's any brown on there, then it's like it starts getting a little bit mushy, and then the texture's gone too far the other way for me, and it's just too soft, and I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So Chris has like an hour.
It literally has to be the perfect yellow banana. Otherwise, it's just like intolerable to me in either direction. It's either a 2x4 or a horrible mush pile.
Well, that's what's funny is because that is the way it is for me. If it has some brown on it, like I'll still get through it, but it's too soft and it's just too sweet. Like the banana, perfect. It's gotten too sweet.
It's perfect.
I don't love it, but I love banana bread, and you use really brown bananas for that.
You black bananas for that.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
My sister buys bananas exclusively to throw in her freezer to make banana bread. She doesn't even wait for it to be a thing. She's like, these are banana bread bananas.
So you guys know that my banana gets jostled on the way to work.
Yeah, well, it's because you drive on bumpy roads.
The funny thing about a banana, though, is if they get dented or if they smash up against something, it will turn brown. But a lot of times it actually doesn't transfer through to the actual flesh or the meat of the banana for me.
I have found at work.
Can somebody please clip my banana gets jostled on the way to work for me, please?
Well, it does.
I need that clip.
We need to turn that into a ringtone. My banana gets jostled.
Oh, Jeremy must be calling me.
No,
if you refrigerate a banana, it will ripen perfectly.
There is no innuendo there. I literally, my
Sometimes
banana.
my kiwis get stuck to my banana in the car.
What I really hate is if you guys saw the seats in my car, sometimes one of the kiwi rolls away off the seat. And I hate it when my kiwi gets away from me. I'm serious.
Why is your life a meme, Jeremy?
Kara, how many we'll leave it at that.
What?
We do constantly always are stocked on bananas and kiwis, are we not?
Because I know Jeremy loves them.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Please eat a kiwi for me with the skin on.
No.
Just take a bite.
No.
On air. People would
400 subs. Actually, no, how about this? When we get affiliate on Twitch.
We need like 13 people to follow us on the channel or something. Did you see we hit the 7 different day thing somehow?
Yeah, I think that's good. I don't know exactly how we did that.
I think you double tapped the stream one day.
I think that's probably it.
We hit the 7 days, even though we only stream 4 different days a month.
We have 32 followers. What do we need to?
We need 50. We need 50? 18.
Okay. So 18 more followers. When we hit affiliate, Kara is going to eat hairy kiwi.
Just do it. Just take one bite. You don't even have to swallow it if you don't want to. It's not that bad.
Ew.
It's super good for you. If you listen and you do it, you will take the best crap in your entire life. I'm not kidding. So there's something, if you read about, do you want to pull it up, Chris, or is it insoluble and soluble fiber?
Oh, my prayers have been answered. Someone clipped that for me.
You're lucky.
Soluble and insoluble fiber. Okay.
Yep. And read about the health benefits of it.
All right. Dietary fiber is the indigestible part of plant material. It's made of 2 main types. Soluble fiber easily dissolves in water and is broken down to a gel-like substance in the colon. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve. It's left intact as food moves through the GI tract.
So I'll break that down for you in layman's terms. One's a lubricant and one adds bulk. Yep. All I'm saying is it's nice.
It's the band's best friend.
It's nice.
One's a lubricant and one adds bulk.
That's why Jeremy eats it with his banana.
Get out of here. Look, Chris is literally on the ground back there. This stuff doesn't matter when you're in your 20s. When you're my age, it matters. I started eating kiwis with the skin on and they're good. Whether I eat it with a banana or not doesn't matter. It's
what are we even talking about anymore?
All I know is some guy on YouTube who's mad about butts and Legos would be really upset right now. Like
we're
really
just
upset.
talking about fruit. There's no double entendres here.
Yeah, we're talking about fruit, Jeremy.
No, and so always like I just wish you would all do it. You eat a kiwi with the skin on, your life will be changed. You guys know. I go to the doctor, right?
I don't like hairy kiwis, Jeremy.
You want me to shave? You can shave the kiwi. I'm not kidding. They make them. Chris, Google search, can you eat a skin with the kiwi on?
Can you eat a skin with a kiwi?
And it says if you want the nutrients, but you don't like the hairy texture, you can rub it off. Do I need to shave my kiwis so you'll try?
Hold on. Why are you rubbing your kiwis, Jeremy?
No, she doesn't want the hair on them, so I got to shave them off in order for her to try them. Maybe I'll shave one kiwi next week. Kara can eat that one, and then if you like it,
Lord.
then you can try it with the hair on.
Oh my gosh, there's actually directions on how to trim with a vegetable peeler.
That's what I'm saying. This is a legit thing.
You know, I hear Norelco makes a pretty good vegetable peeler.
You're so funny. Don't use Norelco on your kiwis, all right? Just use a vegetable scrubber, and you'll be set. Brad, please eat a kiwi with the skin on. Cam, if you guys do it and report back next week, we'll take care of you. It will change your life. It will change your life.
Swanky says this episode is going to be called Jostled Bananas and the Hairy Kiwi Skins.
So, you guys all know, everybody here who's watching the podcast clearly loves Star Wars, right? We also love Indiana.
We talked about Star Wars in the last month.
No, and we like Indiana Jones, right?
Yes.
So I've always been against, when I was a kid, I loved Indiana Jones. What was the one where, it's gotta be the first one. Where he eats the date, he dies, right? And it's bad dates.
Yep, yeah, it's a poison date.
Okay, so prunes, right? Prunes and apricots get a bad rap. Now, what did I tell you when we were at Costco the other day? I saw a big bag of dried
apricots,
and I wanted to get them, right? And so the problem is when they dried, like a lot of the moisture content's removed, so you can eat more than you would if you ate a real fresh one, right?
Yep, yeah, because there's less density.
Because the water content isn't filling you up too?
Exactly.
Like if you ate dehydrated watermelon, you could probably eat a whole watermelon.
Right, versus exactly the other one.
We saw dried unsweetened watermelon.
Interesting.
Wasn't that it? Or was I with Ashley when I saw that? I thought I was with Ashley.
So anyways, so the point of the story really quick is my dad, when I would go visit my dad at work when I was a kid, I'd get off school at 3 o'clock. My dad would be at work till 5. I'd bike down there, say hi to him real quick. And he always had a snack drawer. And he had like fruit roll-ups and fruit by the foot and like gushers and all like the good snacks. And then when he was getting older, he was like, hey, you got to try some of these. And old people, prunes and old people are associated together, right? Yep. You got to have prune juice. You got to do this.
Guess who likes prunes and prune juice?
This is a known thing. I think it was like podcast 38 or something. We talked about this.
I don't think Swanky was here at that point. So I married an old man.
So, but the reason why I started liking them though is because I would go down and
they're not good. They're not.
They're delicious.
They're
disgusting. Like big raisins.
No.
They're like big. They're delicious.
No,
so the legitimate.
There's a reason old people like them.
There's a
Their
legitimate
taste buds are dying.
Problem is that if you have more than 10, you can swing too far the other way, where you have too much lubricant and too much bulk, and you go the other way, and it's just not comfortable.
And then you need to start eating cheese.
And so but then it would just turn into
It's like nothing but pressure and like waiting for the dam to break.
Oh, that would be so bad. And so anyways,
I will give you $1,000, Jeremy, if you do nothing but eat cheese and prunes for a week.
Oh man, that would be horrible.
The cheese and prune diet.
But anyway, I love apricots, but I can literally not buy dried apricots because I cannot cut myself off at 10. They are so delicious. That's how good they are.
Apricots are okay. They're like a fruit to me.
What about like the dried ones though?
Yeah, though that's the only one I've ever had.
Okay.
I've never had a fresh apricot. Like I said, they're so I don't like in the vast panoply of fruit offerings.
Is apricot like a peach? Is that the
yes?
Sorta, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I would say like apricot is like if a peach and a mango to me anyway, sort of like made a thing.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty accurate.
Kind of like a banana and a kiwi.
You are so funny.
Sorry, I'm done.
It's good. That's meta humor. It's fall back to earlier.
Are you?
I just want somebody to just validate me.
You saved the
Listen
Kiwis,
to
Jeremy.
me.
No, I believe you. It's just the words you're saying, well believable, are also incredibly funny.
They are. Holy cow. And you started it by saying you carried kiwis and bananas together in the same hand. Like,
Well, it's true. It's
You should make a custom carrying case for it called the banana hammock.
The jokes are endless.
I'm going to have Derek take a picture of you walking into work.
No, it's well known. People look at me like I'm weird. I'm not weird. It is not weird to like fruit for breakfast.
I feel our viewers need to see a picture of you carrying in your kiwis and bananas.
So there's liking fruit for breakfast, and then there's carrying around what you carry around openly and confidently.
And that's what I'm
Especially
saying.
as a man, Jeremy.
And then you tie it all together by biting into the kiwi with the hair on. I mean, I'm telling you.
If you followed it up by biting into the banana with the skin on, that's like the ultimate double play power.
Can you imagine that? That just makes me want to vomit.
I don't think you can do that.
Well, you could do it. You wouldn't like it.
Google, can you eat banana skin?
I guarantee you can. But
I want to hear the reasons why.
Can you eat a banana peel?
I want to know.
Yes,
why.
you can.
Really?
Is there any downsides? What's the downside?
It's disgusting.
So this is from today.com, like the Today Show. And the article is 4 fruits you can, and in parentheses, and should eat from skin to pit.
No way.
Banana, you
guys, I'll start
should.
doing it. I'll just do the whole thing from now on.
Okay. So
I need video proof.
So this is funny. Banana and kiwi are the first 2 of the 4 on here.
Really?
I'm not insane.
Okay, so
They go together.
surely one fruit peel you can't just eat is the super fibrous one covering banana, right? Nope. Banana peels are totally edible if prepared correctly. Bananas are known for the high potassium, blah, 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 blah. The peel contains 78 additional milligrams of potassium plus filling fiber. The peel on bananas is pretty tough and slightly bitter. To eat it, give it a good wash, remove the stem, and blend it into a smoothie, or fry it or bake it for at least 10 minutes. The peel will become thinner and sweeter as it ripens, so you may want to wait for the peel to develop some spots. And while some advanced home cooks love using banana peels as a substitute for pulled pork in vegan barbecue sliders,
Really?
a more approachable way is to start using peels in banana bread for a boost of fiber.
I will say this. I will absolutely eat the skins if it was prepared that way. So when we eat
A
asparagus,
fried banana skin doesn't sound terrible.
it doesn't. Actually, my only thing is when you talk about in the sense of eating it raw, like I was assuming one would eat if you had
Jeremy's
to eat
just
it.
going in there. Just,
Yeah, that's the illusion I was giving.
That's what
I hate asparagus when you eat too low, right? Hey, see how she's holding them? See, I'm telling you, cup 2 and then you put the banana in there.
cut them gently, Jeremy.
Yep. Oh, I know. But yeah, so I bet you, I would imagine if you tried to eat a banana peel raw, it would be like the woody part of an asparagus. Like when you get too low on a piece of asparagus, it gets stringy like bamboo. So
Have you eaten bamboo?
well, I would imagine when it breaks, it splinters.
So, Kara, Cam endorses you getting the picture of Jeremy walking in with his fruit.
I'll message Derek.
And Brad says, I'm picturing Jeremy eating these fruits like a certain Austin Powers sketch.
Oh, Brad. All right, talk about the kiwi.
What? Oh, the kiwi, it's just all the stuff that you said. The other 2 fruits, well, it's got the extra fiber, all that, whatever. The other 2 that it says are orange and watermelon. And I've heard about doing like orange zest and all that. Like orange doesn't surprise me. Watermelon is surprising to me though.
So
Well, they do pickled watermelon rinds.
when we do home ec in school, Chris, do you remember to get orange flavor in something that's not normally including an orange, you zest the orange.
Orange zest is really good in foods.
Yeah, and so we made spritz cookies and we put orange zest in them.
Peppercocker,
Ooh, is it good?
my favorite Christmas cookie, it has orange zest in it.
Huh. No kidding.
Peppercocker, it's a Swedish spice cracker, but it's a cookie.
Spice Cracker, that's Kara's online username now.
Well, you know what's so funny
Cracker.
is spice in both Dune and Star Wars is a drug.
'Tis true.
Star Wars, it isn't exclusively drugs. though.
But in most
Will
references
you change
to
your
it,
gamer tag to Spice Cracker?
no, I'm Lady Burrito. Get out of here.
Lady Burrito's Spice Cracker. the
Well,
fourth.
which one has the more innuendo is the question.
This is true.
I will tell you what. Her name being Lady Burrito does not deter anybody. She still gets like tons of messages.
Well, I saw I hopped on Destiny the other day, and I played through a level where it required 3 people, but it was just me and this one other guy. And then we got to the end and he friended me.
Oh, Carol will hop in the Destiny like common area lobby. She'll get 15 friend requests. I hop on. And
everybody's like, who's this guy?
That I look at my friends list and somebody's now gone. I've lost a friend. I don't know where. Like,
he looks in my friend list and boop, and there I am. Yep.
Yeah. I was also going to say the 88 looks like 4 burritos in face on stacked on top of each other. So you do have that going for you.
So the other one was just oranges. And what was the last one?
Watermelon.
Oh, watermelon.
And I've heard of pickled watermelon rinds.
Yeah.
So,
but like when you're eating watermelon, if you eat the white, like the rind, it's so gross.
Yeah, it says blending the rind into a smoothie or pickling it are the 2 ways. You can also use it in stir fries or as a slaw if you shred it.
I could hear it in both either the stir frying.
I totally could too. Yeah,
totally get that way.
Yep.
I think we have enough time left, Kurt. We have plenty of time. Do you want to try?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe how much time has gone by. We spent so much time laughing about bananas.
Do you want to talk about the game that we kind of maybe whipped up?
Yes, the Mandela
It's gonna be a little
effect.
quiz time for Jeremy and Kara tonight here.
Okay. So Jeremy brought up, just in the moments before the podcast started, had mentioned, it was like, oh, it might be kind of fun to go through potential Mandela effect things and see if we can figure out which is the real thing and which is the Mandela effect. And are you reading chat on your phone, Kara?
Maybe.
You have it up on the screen.
That's fine. So the Mandela effect is the theory named after Nelson Mandela, who believed that they remembered him dying in prison in the 80s, but he didn't die until 2013. Like he became, he was famously protesting whatever. He was like a political prisoner.
The Mandela effect's actually somewhat new then, as of 2013.
Well, no, it's from like the early 90s where people were like, when the phenomenon first started being recorded, when people thought Nelson Mandela was dead and like, no, he's still alive. And it was like hard to prove then because like nascent internet, all that.
Got it.
And then it evolved into this thing where it's like, so by the time when he actually died, people were like, oh, I thought he died in the 80s. And then that's where it really like exploded, but it's like it has its roots earlier.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
There's examples of this having happened well before that, but this is like the most current touchstone we have for it.
Yeah.
All right. So popular peanut butter brand with the red, blue, and green label.
Moms like you choose Jif.
Is it Jif or is it Jiffy?
Jif.
It is Jif.
Thanks to their jingle. That's the only reason why.
Choosy moms choose Jif.
Yep. Moms like you choose Jif.
People swear there was a Jiffy back in the day, but we speculate they're combining Jif with its competitor Skippy.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense. I do that all the time.
Okay, Warner Brothers classic cartoon show Looney Tunes. How is tunes spelled? Toons or Tunes?
I know what this is. What do you think it is?
It's like the show tunes, Tunes.
Yep, exactly.
Woo, we're smart.
Well, so here's the funny part. The description here says like it makes no sense, but it's spelled Tunes. It's because it started as an offshoot of Merry Melodies.
Oh,
So
really?
it has that musical base.
Well, I always just thought like the da 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 da.
Well, that's just the theme song.
You know, well, then they always like pulled them off with the shepherd's hook, like a theater. So show tunes, da 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 da.
I mean, however you want to remember it is
Looney
fine.
Tunes, you know.
All right. Oh, so we know this one, Berenstein versus Berenstain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one always shocks me.
I still think I know it's Berenstain Bears.
It's Bernstein.
I will forever know that it's actually Berenstain Bears.
Yep.
Can't trick us, internet.
And all my books that say Berenstain Bears on it.
So, Chris, we laugh about flat earthers, right?
Yeah.
We talked about them. If anybody knows anything about Mother, she loves giraffes. I found out there's a group of people who think giraffes aren't real. Like, they legitimately think giraffes don't exist. Like, there's groups and
They
people.
think that they were made by some, like, I think it was the Russians specifically, as spy creatures.
Keep tabs on Africa.
Because they're tall, their necks are so tall, they can see everything. So they're like being shipped off to zoos. They're out in Africa. So the Russians can keep an eye on everything. It's like.
That reminds me of the rhino in Ace Ventura 2.
Right.
Also, there's the conspiracy theory that birds aren't real and they're surveillance drones.
There's too many cool birds
It's just different models of surveillance drones.
Then who's the guy who made the seagull? Because, I mean...
The most annoying engineer ever.
Yeah, you're going to make a drone that just steals people's ice cream?
Jeremy in a previous life?
Yeah. Brad says giraffes don't exist. Noah couldn't fit 2 of them on the ark, so all the new ones are fake. Cam went to college with somebody who didn't believe in dinosaurs.
Really?
What?
We got one sitting right on the couch there.
So.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
I'll leave that up to you guys. So, Jeremy, you should know this because we were just talking about this. Curious George, does he or does he not have a tail?
Does not.
He does smoke a pipe.
That just a tail.
Yeah.
I want to say he does.
He does not have a tail.
What?
He doesn't and never did have a tail.
Huh.
I just read it. I know. He has a tail.
It's just sad
Jeremy.
because he was completely just looking at some guy's hat, and the only reason he brought him back was to slap him in a zoo. It's kind of sad.
All right, popular television show about 4 women in I don't know what city, New York, whatever. Is it Sex and the City or Sex in the City?
And the city.
It is Sex and the City.
But I want to say in, but I knew it was and.
Yeah.
All right, popular spray-on deodorizer, Febreze.
Ooh.
How many E's are in between the R and the Z? 1 or 2?
2.
You're going 2? There's 1.
Really?
No.
There's only 1 E in Febreze.
Do you think it'd be Febreze, like it blows fresh through your house?
So.
That's Febreze. We've all been saying it wrong. What? Febreze.
Yep, Swanky got it right.
Wait, pause. I don't know why. Can somebody, I know Brad probably knows and Swanky probably knows. Who is Jimmy Hoffa?
Jimmy Hoffa, you fool.
Hoffa. Why do people still care?
He was a famous union organizer in New York City, and he disappeared at the height of this collective bargaining thing, presumed murdered, and some people speculate buried under the 50-yard line at Giant Stadium.
So that's been proven that he's not there.
True, but he still has never been found and is most likely murdered.
Rich came into me the other day, like I care, and told me, Jeremy, they've got new evidence where Jimmy Hoffa's body is. And I'm like, why do you care about where this guy is buried?
Because it's a cold case.
If someone said, we know who JonBenet Ramsey's killers are, would you care?
I don't know who that is.
The little girl that disappeared, right? She disappeared.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
They just assume that her parents did it, and like everyone's pretty sure that they did it, but there's not enough evidence that they did it.
If they found Kristen Smart's body, I would want to know.
She's a completely different woman now that she's gotten into true crime. I just want to say that.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I have followed a lot of true crime as well. Anyway, so it was basically the big true crime thing of like the late 80s or something.
JonBenet Ramsey. It was the 90s because I remember.
JonBenet Ramsey was definitely the 90s. Yeah, we were young.
I
remember going through grocery store lines and there were magazines upon magazines upon magazines with that little girl's face on every single one. I remember that specifically growing up.
I do want to say I did think Kara was watching this one show called
Very Scary People.
Very Scary People.
It was the one Jeremy caught was about Charles Manson.
Well, the one thing I thought was interesting is really Charles Manson was just mad about Beatles stealing one of his songs, and they legitimately
he
stole
was
it.
a psychopath, but so he wanted to be like this big star. What?
Brad says Jeremy would know who JonBenet was if she was on Ted Lasso.
Wait, what? Oh, I would know who she was if she was on Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I got it. I thought she was on Ted Lasso. I'm like, how'd I miss it? But I would know if she was on.
She disappeared in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
And she was a child.
Chris, who chiseled away enough of your time to teach you about Jimmy Hoffa?
Popular culture references.
I have my hand on the pulse of the internet. I'm telling you
have
guys,
your heartbeat on the
no
pulse
one
of the
cares
internet.
about Jimmy
Your pulse and
Hoffa
heartbeat
anymore.
Everyone, I'm going to Google Jimmy Hoffa. You tell me how many millions of results show up.
132,000 results.
So Chris, really
16,700,000 results.
Dang.
It's probably a bunch of innocent Jimmys getting lumped into the search results.
I will give you $1 billion if you can tell me what his middle name is.
I don't know. Earl.
Closer than you think.
Evan.
In the sense that there's an R in it. It's Riddle.
Riddle?
Riddle, a man who mysteriously disappears and people have been trying to solve. His middle name is Riddle.
Maybe
Conspiracy, Illuminati confirmed. That's all I'm saying.
I just want, do Brad or Swanky, Cam probably knows too. Do you guys seriously, have you heard of Jimmy Hoffa?
Everyone's heard of Jimmy Hoffa.
I'm looking at the comments and
Cam says he cares about Jimmy Hoffa.
Do you?
Swanky says everybody cares about Jimmy Hoffa.
Why? You guys are all weird. Are you
the one who killed Jimmy Hoffa?
Yeah, guys, don't look for him anymore. It's all right.
Don't look in our property.
Chris, is there something new about Jimmy Hoffa's body?
Let's see here.
He's in an oil drum.
10 hours ago.
When did he disappear?
In the 70s.
1982.
Oh, in the 80s. Holy dang.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but here's the thing. When cold cases like that get solved, that's cool shiznit.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Apparently some henchman who knew somebody and somebody came forward and he's buried under 12 other oil barrels somewhere.
Yeah, so FBI searches for Jimmy Hoffa's body in New Jersey landfill after deathbed tip. FBI confirms the search for the Teamster boss who disappeared. He disappeared in 1975.
Dang.
He was pronounced dead in 1982.
Well, the Golden State Killer. They had no idea who he was. 2018, caught the fool. Living a good life with kids, grandkids, all that shiznits.
Swanky says those Kiwi skins are affecting your memory, Jeremy.
Apparently. But anyway, so did they find it? They went and looked?
After a half century of American fixation on the whereabouts of the remains of Jimmy Hoffa, it has led investigators to a landfill in New Jersey. The area of suspicion is on a Little League diamond on the landfill beneath the General Pulaski Skyway. Blah, blah, blah. FBI confirmed there's an ongoing search for the Teamster boss who disappeared in July of 75 after he showed up for a meeting with two mob bosses in Michigan. And it began anew in March 2020. Deathbed tip from landfill worker Frank Capella, who told a friend that his father confessed he'd been ordered by an unidentified man to bury Jimmy Hoffa's body in a steel drum. Spokesperson from the FBI told the New York Times that agents from the Bureau's Detroit and Newark offices had carried out a site visit of the bridge site late last month. The location of the search is freighted with cinematic references. The opening sequences of The Sopranos depicts a car ride through the area, including shots of the Pulaski. 2019, Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, starring Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, offered a fictionalized account of Hoffa's disappearance. Blah, 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 blah. The article goes on for many, many more paragraphs.
So to summarize it, what I've heard from Rich, because he was so excited, and I have a steel trap of a memory, it's about 6 football fields worth of size that this tip has narrowed him down to. And he's in a steel drum under like 12 other steel drums, but you think they'd be able to like X-ray or something the earth. Why don't they call the Curse to Oak Island guys, have them come down.
It'll take him 10 seasons to find him.
Today do we find but anyway, I just think, here's what I'm getting at when he told me. Is it worth the man hours today, the time, the equipment, everything to find this guy's body who's been dead since 1975? Is it worth it? I don't think it is.
Well, so here's my question. Let's say that the command module from an Apollo space mission had gone missing and somebody got a tip that it was found somewhere in the ocean. It'd be really expensive to recover it, but it's a piece of our national history. Is it worth spending the dollars to go and get it?
And that would be more.
Here, let me put it this way, Chris.
In cultural significance, they are tantamount to each other.
Jeremy, if I disappeared in 40 years, 50 years, say there was a tip that they potentially know where my body is, would you want to know where it was?
I would already know where it was. Just kidding.
Well,
just kidding.
Jeremy would be like, yeah, old news. I knew that 50 years ago.
I want to say I hate admitting I'm wrong, but yes, I would want to know where you were.
Boom.
But does Jimmy Hoffa have anybody left alive?
He's probably got
kids, grandkids?
Kids, grandkids, yeah. If there's a family legend that your Grandpa Manthe got whacked by the mob and somebody knew where the body probably is, wouldn't you want them to go and find it?
And here's the thing, once they find bodies, a lot of times they can put people behind bars because
the guy who did it was his deathbed wish. He's laying there saying,
No. He was the son of the guy who buried the body.
Dang, it's already a generation.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I went from boomer to Gen X.
Yeah.
Brad said you'd start your search at Costco.
Right.
I'd be buried inside one of those huge bears.
Yeah, right. I'll put it under a Ted Lasso season 2 DVD.
I think they'd be able to see me underneath that DVD. Unless you burn me and just like
12 season 2 DVDs.
Put you in a soccer ball.
Okay, so Jeremy's gonna cremate me and inject me into a soccer ball.
Yep.
You should just hide them in one of those pilot socks.
Kid will get the soccer ball, start kicking it around. Mom, what's this powder coming out of my soccer ball?
No, he just forgo the soccer ball. Just put it right in the sock. Anyways, let's finish up. How many more Mandelas do we have?
Oh my God, like 37.
You can rattle through some of them.
I got to find the tab. Okay, there it is. Okay, popular meat manufacturer Oscar Mayer. How is the last name spelled? M-A-Y-E-R, M-E-Y-E-R.
Double E, E-E.
I think it's A.
It's M-A-Y-E-R.
That's Oscar Mayer Wiener. It's Oscar Mayer Wiener. Everyone would be in love with me. What are the odds that that's one of the ones that... It's like it was pre-planned theme tonight. All right, next one.
All right, the popular skating shoe Skechers. Is there a T in the name of Skechers?
Yes.
See, it's Skechers. No.
There's a T.
No, there's not.
No T in Skechers.
Because you're not drawing. It's a brand.
Okay, so what do you do with the Sketcher?
No, it's a shoe.
It's like a made-up name.
Yeah. Like Kleenex.
I think this one's an easy one. Fruit Loops. How is fruit spelled? Double O or U-I?
Double O.
Double O.
Because it's got to look, it's like when
You need to use the cereal to make the
O's, yeah.
Yeah.
The Monopoly Man does or does not have a monocle?
Does not.
Does.
Does not.
He does too.
Does not.
Look.
Pikachu's tail does or does not have a black tip?
Doesn't.
The what?
Pikachu's tail
no
does or
black
does not
tip.
have a black tip?
No
No.
black tip.
No. They're
No
just
black
boys
tip.
is pointy and girls is a heart.
And that started later. That was retconned in. That was shoehorned in.
Is Kit Kat hyphenated?
No.
No.
It is not. Fruit of the Loom, does it have a cornucopia behind it?
Yes.
No.
It does not have a cornucopia behind it.
Lies.
Say, you've been Mandela effect. You know the Cheez-It one already.
Yep.
Okay, well here's a fitting one. C-3PO, does he or does he not have a silver leg?
He
Does.
Yep. That one's easy.
And a red arm.
What color is chartreuse? A weird shade of green or a weird shade of purple?
Yellow.
They're supposed to be green.
It's a weird shade of green.
Yeah.
A tennis ball is chartreuse.
Yep.
Yep.
And I would say it's a very common fishing lure color.
It's a very good, apparently a very good color for walleye.
I'm skipping a whole bunch of ones that are like super obvious, like Luke, I am your father versus No, I'm your father.
It's just no. You can blame Tommy Boy for Luke, I am your father, right?
What's that?
I think Tommy Boy is the reason why people think it's Luke, I am your father.
Oh, could be. How many states does the United States have?
50.
There you go. Some people think there are 51 or 52.
We should give Puerto Rico a shot.
And maybe they are counting Puerto Rico and then DC.
All right, famous fire awareness bear.
Smokey the Bear.
Smokey Bear.
It is Smokey Bear.
No way! Is there a theme song? Pull up a theme song. It's got to be Smokey the Bear. Smokey the Bear.
Does he have a theme song?
I don't think so.
He was caught in a fire and now he has no hair.
Hold on.
Only you can save wildfires.
Save wildfires?
Stop them.
Only you can start wildfires.
We need to make a t-shirt that only you can save wildfire.
With a picture of a hairless Smokey Bear.
It's Smokey the Bear.
It's Smokey Bear.
No one. If you showed a picture of a bear to someone on the street and asked them who this is, and it's Smokey with the hat and everything, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's Smokey the Bear."
Well, so like I will say, Oh my gosh. Okay. So Swanky says technically it could be 49 states since Hawaii was illegally made a territory, so it has no rights to be a state.
Huh.
Oh.
Shots fired, Hawaii. All right. When was Mother Teresa canonized as a saint?
It was recently. I have no idea.
Any thoughts? Was it the 1990s or was it the 2010s?
90s.
I'm going to go with the 10s.
It was in the 2010s.
Why would you know that?
I remember seeing it somewhere.
The real event happened in 2016, but many people remember her entering sainthood in the 90s when she was still alive.
Wow, you and I were married before Mother Teresa became a saint.
Dang.
Did the Challenger explosion happen in 1984 or 1986? This one's kind of sketchy.
86.
I'll go with 6.
It was 86. A lot of people thought it happened in 84, 85. That one's super obvious.
I could get it wrong. Go ahead.
It's true.
What? Okay. In what year did Leonardo DiCaprio win his first Oscar?
He has
2003 or 2016?
16.
2016.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought he'd been nominated 5 previous times, but didn't win until 16. Where is Disney World Castle?
Orlando.
What do
Okay,
you
well, this
mean
is worded weird. Yeah, well, it's in the Magic Kingdom, but some people think that it's in the entrance of the park. It's in the Magic Kingdom section of the park.
Oh.
Well, like even when you go to Disneyland, you still have to walk quite a ways, like through downtown Disney and all that stuff to get to the castle.
And apparently Dole Whip exists
that's
somewhere.
That's Cinderella's castles in Disneyland, Disney World castles in Disney World.
Gotcha.
Orlando. Sorry, I was okay. Oh my God, I don't want to see 40 pictures of Joan Crawford. Get out of here, Tab.
So Bailey Sarian, she has a crow on her set, and she's named it Joan Crowford.
Oh my goodness.
It's hilarious.
Boo. All right, Chris, pick one more and we'll wrap up.
That's it. I blasted through all the ones that I knew you guys were going to get.
All right.
So, and then some that I thought were so obscure that you wouldn't even know what they were talking about. There's one about Jimmy Hoffa. I'm just kidding. There wasn't.
I was going to say, if there was, I would lose it.
No, there wasn't. All right. Well, I guess it's just about time for us to wrap up. So thank you guys who have joined us live on Twitch. We are live Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/Rise of the Podcast. Thank you if you're listening to us on the audio version. If you are an audio listener, sorry that these episodes have been coming out rapid fire recently, but we're going to be back to our regular release schedule on Monday mornings. Also, feel free to check us out on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces, except for mine. I'm always audio only. But you can go to youtube.com/Rise of the Podcast and catch up on old episodes there, or watch new episodes on Monday mornings when they come out. If you are a YouTube watcher, thank you for watching on there. Don't forget to like the video to show you want to see more stuff like this in the future, and comment down below with any Mandela effects that you have been exposed to. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified every time we post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course,
May the force be with you.